In terms of writing a case, especially for your first time, it can be pretty scary. What I did when I wrote my first case is I reached out to a friend who's an experienced case writer and said, please help. But if you don't have that option, what I will tell you is what she told me. Think about the case first of all from your learning outcomes. So before you even start to write the case, now that you've got the story idea from the person that you're writing about, think about, well, what can people learn from this case? What is the decision that the protagonist has to make? And once you get those two things down, you can start to think about, well, what kinds of questions would I ask to achieve those learning outcomes? Which is really part of the instructor's manual or the teaching note. And then and only then should you start writing the case. Case writing isn't about write the case, then write the teaching note. It's a very iterative process. So I find that going back and forth between the case and the teaching note is really the best way to write it, so that you ensure all the information that the student needs to be able to respond to the discussion questions is actually in the case. So it's a bit of a back and forth process. One of the other things that I do when I write cases is I give it to a friendly reader before I submit them. They often find the mistakes that I've made or the things that I'm missing because I'm too close to it. So in general, the first time you write one, it's going to feel hard, but that's okay. That's part of the process. You will learn from the process. Please keep writing cases because I think that they make a huge difference to our students in the classroom.